Um, well, let's go ahead and hop to our last movie, our main feature of the week, and the last movie for season two of a podcast
Sad.
named 2 Years in the Books. A lot of movies watched. Psycho from 1960, of course. R rating, 1 hour and 49-minute runtime, and 8.5 on IMDb, a 96 on the tomato meter, a 95 on the audience score. Of course, directed by one Alfred Hitchcock, stars Anthony Perkins, Vera Miles, John Gavin, Janet Leigh, etc., etc. I know there's other people, but there's, yeah, IMDb. And of course, it tells the story of a woman, a secretary who embezzles a bunch of money, goes on the run, and has to stay at the Bates Motel, which ain't exactly where you want to be staying.
I've been there.
You've been there, um, and I think we've actually watched a movie, another movie where the Bates house was featured in.
Oh, it's tons of
Yeah,
movies at the
I was
Bates
actually going
House.
to suggest we've been discussing potential episodes for the next season. We should do a movie. We should do an episode where the Bates house has to be in it.
I think the movie House took place in it, but
Maybe.
yeah, there's tons of movies. It's really weird where it sits now in Universal. It actually is back where it should be. It's on the hill above the Bates Motel, but it's yeah, it's pretty cool to be there.
Um, well, where do you want to start? Do I want to start? How you want to do this? I know you've seen this a bunch of times. This is only my second viewing of Psycho.
Oh, I can't tell you how many times I've seen it. I still am mesmerized of the audience reaction when this was out. Why this terrorized people so bad? Because this it's not scary. It's I matter of fact, I wouldn't even like this movie if it wasn't for Anthony Perkins.
Oh, he's
I
great.
love Anthony Perkins in this. I think it's this he makes this movie. I mean, Janet Leigh's annoying in it, and everyone else is just kind of window dressing. The the house itself is a character.
Hmm.
It
Yeah.
just it's just perfect. Whoever designed that house or found that house to use is fantastic. Other than that, I always forget when I watch this. I always forget that it actually starts out as kind of a about the embezzlement of the
Yeah.
money and her. I forget about that. Everybody always remembers the shower scene, of course, and some of the other the reveal scene of his mother and all that. But I forget that it actually starts out as kind of a Alfred Hitchcock type mystery before it goes off the rails. But it's a classic. Everybody should watch it.
Yes.
It's but it's not scary under any circumstances. I don't know why people couldn't take a shower. Some people couldn't take a shower after this, and some people fruit cellars were closed up, and I don't know. It was just kind of crazy.
Um, yeah, I had forgotten a lot of the film. Like you said, most people just think, shower scene and the review at the end. I mean, so Allison watched it with me, the wife, and she had never seen Psycho, and I did not realize that.
Really?
Yeah. And but she knew the ending, and she knew the shower scene
Of
because
course.
everyone knows that. You mentioned Anthony Perkins made this film. It's this film to me is two big things: Anthony Perkins and the music, because the music, the opening music where it just builds that tension up, of course the shower scene music, all of it, just it's iconic music. It's excellent. I mean, obviously Alfred Hitchcock thinks so. He doubled the salary of the man who made the music, who said he basically said this movie wouldn't work, and a third of this movie is just because the music's great. So here's
He
a bunch of
was the
money.
original Tarantino, as far as I'm concerned, when he picked music. His
Yeah.
music in most of his movies, because you even nowadays when you hear when they try to make a movie with a little mystery kind of thing, the music is very. It sounds like Hitchcock. You can kind of go, that sounds like a Hitchcock movie.
Um, it is. It's a really good. What I like about it is, like you said, it does start off kind of as a typical Alfred Hitchcock, just I don't want to say chase thriller in some respects, and then it just at the end it kind of morphs into this weird. Oh, there's some other things going on. I didn't. I didn't like at the end, in some respects, how much they had to go into explaining. It was almost like, all right, we think the audience is dumb, so let's explain exactly what just happened. I had forgotten how. Speaking of the shower scene, though, I forgotten how shitty it actually looks because that scene is 1000% made by the music because the knife it's like a flare punch. It ain't nowhere close. It doesn't look good. It looks like shit. I mean, the blood that looks fine. I would have liked a little thicker,
You mean the Hershey's chocolate syrup?
Yes, yeah. I would have liked a little bit more there, but
Well,
it show.
remember
Yeah,
what
but I'd
year
say
this
you're
was.
working with the Hayes Commission. I get what you got to do. I like that it's in black and white. I think it adds to the film 100%. But yeah, it just I just forgotten how bad that scene actually looks.
It was 1960.
Yeah.
So my mom was like 17 when she saw it. So it freaked her out. Just remember just being freaked out. My dad was 20, but I think he was in the service by then. So I don't know if he saw it right then.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was, I don't know. I watched it, but when I watched it, I wasn't very old. I watched it on regular television, I think, one time when it came on because it just, I'd always heard about it. And I didn't get it way back then. I don't understand why I wasn't scared by any of it. I actually kind of laughed a little bit when he was playing his mother. I thought that was pretty entertaining.
But I mean, I would say it's. I don't know how many movies in 1960 talked about. I don't know. They called it transgender, but that probably isn't the correct term. It was dual. It was dual personality. They just described it as
Right.
transgender because that's the
Yeah, it wasn't
terminology
his
they would
all.
have
He was
used.
trying to. Yeah, it was trying to be his mother. He wasn't trying to be a girl.
Yeah, but I don't know how many movies would have touched on this subject. And I would imagine, white picket fence. I like baseball and beer and my Cracker Jack box America at the time. There probably would have been some societal fears of this.
Oh, I'm sure.
So um, it was. Did you see that Mr. Alfred Hitchcock, excuse me, Sir Alfred Hitchcock, pulled a George Lucas on this and made some money?
No.
Alfred Hitchcock deferred his standard $250,000 salary and said, "I will take 60% of the movie's gross instead."
Oh,
And they
they did
said,
that.
"That's fine. We don't think it's going to do that well." Well, he earned and this is from IMDb. It's on the facts right here. It says his personal earnings in 1960 dollars were 15 million. Adjusted for inflation, Mr. Alfred Hitchcock for 2016 dollars, again according to the IMDb trivia, made $120 million on
Wow.
this movie. So
Well, he didn't make a friend. See, Walt Disney didn't care for this movie.
yes, refused to allow him to film things in his,
It was disgusting.
which is
This
interesting.
coming from a racist anti-Semite and everything else. But yeah, um, I don't know. I've always wanted to watch. You this always reminded me of that we had a. You heard that Alfred Hitchcock, of course, and I'm sure he did it on purpose because Hitchcock was kind of known to be a little bit of a perv, a little
Mm-hmm.
bit of a little eccentric when it came to the women. But he made sure he made a point of calling Anthony Perkins Master Bates
Yes.
the entire movie. Well, we had a I was in ninth grade, and we were going around the first day of school introducing our things, and this kid named Ivan Bates. That's how he introduced himself as Master Bates, and it was, of course, that was his
That,
nickname for the rest of the. That was hilarious.
I mean, that is correct. That is correct.
There you go. That's exactly
Uh,
right.
there is a 90% chance that Master Bates might be the name of this episode.
I'm good with that. Good with that. Um, yeah, and Janet Leigh, of course, never took another shower.
Yeah.
Took only baths for the rest of her life. So this movie really it changed an entire generation. It really did. I believe it or not. I don't get it, but I'm trying to think of what's if there's something in my era of horror that totally just changed the way maybe I did
Well,
things or the way
the
I
I would say the next movie that would have done that, it would have been before you. It would have been Jaws, probably. But even that does, I don't think, rises to this level.
think
Um,
Texas Chainsaw Massacre kind of
yeah.
changed people in a way. I mean, don't stop and go up to farmhouses and check out. Just I don't know, stay home. Yeah, I don't know. I don't. I'm trying to. I was trying to think of in my time. I guess maybe Nightmare on Elm Street kind of really freaked people out and creeped people out again because as we talked, we did our review. You know, in your dreams is
Hmm.
something you can't control. Things
Hmm.
you can't control are pretty. I can't think any jobs to go in though, because yeah, everybody that became a big thing about swimming and not swimming, and people afraid to get out in the ocean. Um, Geez, I don't know, but this just totally. There was so many people that were affected by this movie. I I don't get it. I really don't. I don't. I think he. I think Hitchcock has a lot better movies than this. I don't think this. To me, this is not his. I know a lot of people think this is best, but I don't. I don't. I like
I think
Suspicion,
it's.
Notorious, and some of those much better.
I think this is commercially his most successful film.
Oh, I'm sure.
Um, and then I guess a couple things that hit on before we get into the last little bit. Of course, A Boy's Best Friend is His Mother is number 56 on the American Film Institute list of greatest quotes. There are actually a lot of great quotes in this. Um, but good writing on that. But um, I thought it was interesting. Maybe you can tell me what your thoughts are. AFI has it as number 14. IMDb has it as number 40.
Somewhere in the middle where it should be.
Yeah. So just to put in perspective for AFI's list, number 13, Star Wars. Number 15, Space Odyssey.
Ew, that's interesting. Well, at least Odyssey came after it.
Yeah, yeah. But now I guess we should probably touch on. I have never seen the 1998 Psycho film. How bad is it? Is it? And just your general. I know you've seen it. Your
I
thoughts?
did watch it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched it just because I really wanted to see if they truly did scene for scene. And I mean, I think there's a few variations, but it's pretty damn close. But it doesn't have the black and white.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of it doesn't work. It just didn't feel, and it doesn't have Anthony Perkins, and it does just the cast. The cast is, I mean, Anne Hesh and who else? Then I can't think of
Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn. Yeah, which right there, that's he's not to the caliber of playing this kind of role. Yeah, it's not. Who did it? Was it not Gus Van Sant? Was it?
It was Gus Van Sant.
It was Gus. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. There was there was just absolutely no reason to remake Psycho. There certainly was no reason to do it shot for shot.
Um, yeah, and I will say I thought it was interesting. I think Anthony Perkins and Janet Leigh both said obviously they were typecast after this, and but they were. I mean, they seemed to be fine with it. They were like, we'd like to be remembered for Anthony Perkins. Like, I'm fine with being remembered for that. I have always said if you can give me the career of someone like a Mark Hamill, if I'm fucking Luke Skywalker, if I don't get anything else after that, that's okay. I'm Luke Skywalker. Like
That's right.
I'm, I'll take it.
Now
Like
you want to have some fun. Watch the second one.
no, and I did not realize
No,
there was a third one also.
watch this. I started to say watch the second and third one. I don't hate them.
Okay.
They're different,
Right.
obviously. They're shot way, 20 years after the.
Hmm.
But watch the second one.
Okay. Okay. Sometimes, Are you about to make a bold statement, sir?
I am not, no, no,
Okay.
not at this point until you watch it.
Okay. Well, maybe we will watch that at some point for the show.
Sounds like a Christmas movie to me.
Oh, well, that